So I just filmed this entire tutorial and realized that I have my lighting set up wrong or different than I did on my last video. So I hope that maybe I fixed it and that you guys can actually see and it's a little bit better quality. Okay, so normally I don't do my eyes first, but for the sake of this video I went ahead and I did my eyes. Now since I'm going to be using just drugstore products for my face, my eye makeup is not all drugstore, so I just want to go ahead and tell everyone that. The first thing I did was applied some sort of a moisturizer or face cream, and what I used was actually by Olay, so it's also drugstore. And then I'm going to take, I'm even going to use drugstore brushes for you guys so that you can you know, you won't be like, oh, well, do they apply differently or whatever. The foundation brush that I use on like a daily basis is actually this one right here, and it is by Revlon. So I'm going to take just my foundation brush, and this is the L'Oreal Magic Smooth Souffle. I always want to say Magic Souffle Mousse or something crazy, but I'm just going to take a little bit of that. And I'm sorry, my hair's a little crazy because all I did today was dried it because I was going to do a hair tutorial. So I haven't quite decided if I'm still going to do one. And I'm just going to start off and I'm just going to kind of apply this wherever. I absolutely love this stuff. It goes on so smooth, and I don't really even use any other concealer or anything whenever I use this other than under my eyes, because as you can see I have like I guess they're hereditary under eye circles, so next for under my eyes, I'm going to be using, this is CoverGirl and Olay. It's the Simply Ageless. It's an eye concealer, and I use it for under my eyes, and it's two-tone like this. And I just kind of pat it into those really dark spots. Sorry, I'm trying to let the light hit that so that you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. I try not to go out, so I kind of like color in the lines, I guess. And as you guys can see, that's already lightened it up a whole lot. And I actually bought this in the lightest shade that they had. It's just very light, number 205. So yeah, and sometimes I use this right here. It's the Garnier Anti-Dark Circle Roller. I don't always use this, it just really depends. So yeah, it looks really pale right now, and what I normally use this powder. It's the MAC Studio Care Blend, and it's for really dry skin. It's supposed to kind of provide like a little bit extra moisture to your skin. It's not supposed to dry it out. A lot of face powders will really dry my skin out because of my dry skin. So this works really, really well, but since this is a drugstore routine, I'm not going to use that. I am going to use the Maybelline Mineral Powder, and I'm just going to open it up like that. I'm going to take a Revlon Kabuki, and I'm just going to go right in the lid with that. And I'm just going to use that to kind of set everything that I did. I need to get a little bit extra. I just tap off the excess in the cap. Okay, I don't usually use too much powder, so that's all the powder that I'm going to do for that. Next, I'm going to take the Maybelline Dream Mousse blush, and I was actually at Walmart the other day, and I didn't see any of these, so I don't know if they still make them or not, but this is in the color, I believe it's called Rose. I'm sorry, Rose Petal, number 25. And I'm just going to take my finger, and I'm going to go like right here on the apples of the cheeks. And I'm going to blend that backwards in the direction of my hairline. Not too much because I'm going to set it with a powder. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is, before I do this powder, I'm actually going to do this part. Normally for my highlight I use Shell. It's a cream color base from MAC, but for this tutorial, this is actually from NYC, and it's a lipstick, and it's in the color Cafe, number 301, and it's pretty much an exact dupe for Shell. It looks just like it. What I'm going to do for this is I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm just going to pat that up there. I don't know if you guys can really see what I'm doing or not. I'll put a little bit more just to kind of, for the video. I don't know if you guys can see that little like shimmer right there. There, yeah, I think you can see it more better on this side than you can on this side. I'm just going to go down the center of the nose with it, if you want an extra straight nose that day. Now, unfortunately, I normally would set that with Silver Dust from MAC, but I don't have anything similar to that that's drugstore. So the next thing I'm going to do is, the only thing in this video that I'm going to be using for my face that is not drugstore is my blush brush. I have a couple other ones, but I don't really like them, so this is the one that I always use. This is my MAC 116 brush, and it's the smaller one that's like tapered like that. And this is Fox in a Box by Hard Candy, and this color is called Spicy and Sweet, not Sweet and Spicy. I'm just going to swirl it around, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to pat that in. See, it's a little bit more dramatic. Swirl it around, tap it off, pat it in. Now sometimes if it looks really crazy like that, I'll show you guys what I do to kind of like tone it down, because it looks almost kind of clownish right now. But first, before I do any of that, I'm going to take, this is from L'Oreal, this is their True Match line, and this, I used this for a really long time, as you can tell. I used to use it as like for contouring, but it's a little bit light for my skin tone to contour with. Here, I'll show you. I usually use Blunt. This is kind of what I've been using now, and I'll show you like the color difference. This is Blunt, and this is the color W34. Yeah, so it's a little bit lighter, but I mean, it's a really good product, so I would recommend it, but maybe in a darker shade unless you're really, like, you're a lot more pale. And this brush, I actually don't know the brand of it, but I got it from Walmart. Just one like this with like the little like tack-on bristle stuff on top. And I'm going to flatten it like this, and I'm going to kind of like tap the corner in that. And then I'm going to go up through here. And I blend it up, and I kind of like move it at an angle, I guess. Do the same thing on the other side. I usually get a little crazy with mine, and I'll kind of contour like through here. And I'll blend it down onto my neck. And then I'll show you what I do to kind of tone it down up here so it doesn't look so clownish. I'm just going to take like my fingertips and I'm just going to kind of like rub it around. And it'll really blend everything in. I'm not going to like rub it all down here, just kind of in that little area where I have the blush and all that stuff. And as you can see, it's already kind of like toned it down. And I can't help it, I love blush. It's probably like my favorite product or whatever to put on my face other than like mascara. Right now on my lips, I just have, it's the Nivea like moisturizing lip balm stuff because I get really dry lips too because my skin is really dry. But, so for my eyebrows. Okay, for my eyebrows, I'm going to take a little angle brush like this. And this is actually by Eco Tools. Now, unfortunately, I don't really have a drugstore shadow that I use for my eyebrows anymore. I used to use a color that came in like the LA Colors palette of browns and stuff. I think it was like the darkest one on there. But now I just use, this is, I can't even talk, Espresso from MAC. And sometimes I'll use charcoal brown. I used that for a while, but I'm just going to use this instead. Just any like chocolatey brown that doesn't have a red like undertone to it will probably work for you. And just go a straight line across. And then down. I don't like to get a whole lot on my brush at once, so I start off with like lightly, and then I turn the brush up with the pointed angle downward, and I go up, just go in the direction of your hair growth. The next thing that I do for my eyebrows is I take a clear mascara, any clear mascara or like brow gel or whatever will work. I usually use the CoverGirl Professional. It's just a clear mascara made by CoverGirl, and like I said, any of them are going to do. And this is just to kind of like help them stay in place, and I just lightly go over that. Sometimes I have to dip the brush more than once, but not always. This one is really low. I need another one, so. Okay, for my lips, I'm going to line my lips, and this is by Max Factor, and this color is called Mysterious, like here. You guys see that? It's number 120. Okay, once you've lined your lips, this is from NYX, and this is pretty much a drugstore brand to me, even though you can't buy it at Walmart or anything, because their products are pretty cheap. So this is the color Stockholm, yeah, and it is a soft matte lip cream. And I barely put any of that on my lips. I mean, like, barely. So there is my drugstore foundation routine. I hope you guys found this helpful, and stay tuned for maybe a couple hair tutorials. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.